So here we are in part 3. We're going to basically build a Docker image using the WAR file, and then we're going to run that image as a container and test it there. So let's go ahead and do that next. So now let's go ahead and copy the WAR file over to my Linux VM, because that's where my Docker tooling lives, so that I can create and test this image. My Windows box does not have that. So let's go ahead now and just copy this WAR file over. Go ahead and type the password. Once this file is over here, we can then issue some Docker commands to literally build out a container that is going to run as our greeting hello world application. So that thing is over. Let's go on to the next step and build out a Docker image. So now we're ready to actually build out this image. Notice what I need is that WAR file we just copied over from Windows, and then we're going to get this Tomcat Java image from hub.docker.com. We're going to add those together and end up with our own containerized web app in the form of an image initially, and when we run it, it becomes a container. Notice over here that the way we do this is with the Dockerfile and the DrBuild command. So let's get into a Dockerfile and the DrBuild command. If we take a look over here in the upper right, you'll notice a basic Docker file itself. And notice how it works. It says, let's go and retrieve the base Tomcat image from hub.docker.com and then copy our WAR file into the web server folder. This is your basic Docker file. That's the blueprint for the image we want to build. And the way we build that image is we simply say Dockerbuild -t myapp, which is the name of the image we want, and then the current directory reflected with the period will mean go look for this Docker file in the current directory. So let's go ahead and issue these commands. Let's look at the Docker file and then actually build and run this image. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Docker file that I created. It's just as I showed you. We start with the base image of Tomcat, and then we copy in that WAR file that we just brought over into the appropriate web server folder. Go ahead and quit out of here. So let's go ahead and now do the Docker build command. So Dockerbuild -t, we'll call it myapp, and use the current directory. So this will take just a few moments. It starts with downloading the initial Tomcat image. That'll take a few moments. Once it's downloaded that image, it will then continue by copying in our WAR file. I believe it's a couple 100 megabytes for this image, so we're almost there. Okay, so once it actually downloads this image, we're going to do the copy of the WAR file into this image, and that will produce the result we're looking for. Okay, we've completed all the steps necessary. We've got an image. If I say Docker images here at this point, we ought to see the myapp. Let's go up towards the top, see if we find it. There it is. So this is the image that we've created. That's the image ID. It was created just 11 seconds ago, so we're done. This image is now ready to run, and it will become a container once we do. Let's go ahead and clear this window out. Okay, let's go ahead now and run this container. We're going to basically say run it detached -d and port 8888, and then map it to port 80. So let's go ahead and run that. And at this stage, we can kind of try our curl command and see if we can get the JSON response we expect. So we're ready to run and test this endpoint by going to localhost /888. Then the name of the WAR file, myapp -0.5.0/greeting, and we ought to get the JSON code back, which we did, and there's your hello world. So we went from soup to nuts here. We got the actual image built, we ran it as a container, and tested it with the curl command. And this sample is now complete.